everybody and welcome back. My name is Alison, the online piano and the online violin tutor. In today's video I'm going to be doing a comparison between two of the Fiddlerman violins. I have reviewed all of the Fiddlerman violins, actually all 6 in the series, as well as doing 3 comparison videos. So all of those are going to be linked underneath this video if you want to go and watch the individual reviews of, especially of the 2 violins that I'm going to be reviewing. And you can head down there also if you want to check out the other individual reviews and comparisons of the other Fiddlerman violins. The 2 violins I'm going to be comparing today is this one, which is the Fiddlerman Concert Violin, and this one, which is the Fiddlerman Artist Violin. Now both of these sits in at number 3 and number 4 out of the 6 Fiddlerman series of violins. And the Concert is $399 US and the Artist is $589 US. So that's a $190 difference between the two. So the technical specs and everything and what comes in the case can be seen in more detail on the individual reviews of these. So I'm not going to go into huge detail about that in this video because I've done slightly more in depth about the technical specs of each one in the individual review videos. They're going to be linked underneath this one. So if you want to know more about each individual violin, then go and head to their individual reviews. But as with the entire Fiddlerman series, they both come set up out of the box. So with both of them, the only thing you're going to have to do is to give them a quick little tune like you would with any violin anytime you played, and also just apply rosin to the bow. The bow that you get with these seems to be exactly the same, and as I said in my individual reviews of these, the bow is very, very good. So there's no difference there. Physically looking at the violin, yeah, there are a few differences. So the strings are different, but again, if you want to have a look at the exact tech specs, then go to the individual reviews, or alternatively have a look at the website. So, you know, wood wise they both look pretty much the same. They've both got 4 fine tuners. The peg box looks pretty well the same. This one, which is the Artist, is more expensive than the Concert, so you would expect this to have a little bit more. So on the tailpiece there, it looks like it's got a sort of pearl inlay going on in there, and also as well on the pegs you can see there's some sort of pearl kind of detailing. So I would say that this one looks a little bit nicer than this one, but then this one is more expensive, so of course you would expect that. With the backs of them, this one here, which is the Concert, has a 1-piece back, and the Artist has a 2-piece back, as you can see there. As I said in the individual reviews, there's no difference to having a 1 or a 2-piece back. You certainly won't notice any difference, and there's been no scientific evidence to prove whether one is better than the other or not. Okay, so I'm going to do a back-to-back demonstration of both of these now. I'm just going to play one piece. Again, if you want to hear a more in-depth performance or demonstration of the violins, then head over to their individual review videos. I'm just going to play one short little piece, as I said, side by side or back to back, just so you can hear the immediate difference. I want to note as well that I've done nothing to these violins except tune them up out of the box, apply rosin to the bow. I've not changed any of the strings or, you know, fiddled about with it in any kind of way. And also, even though I am recording these professionally, I've not done anything post-production. So the sound that you are about to hear is exactly the sound you are going to get out of the violin. Alternatively, if you want to hear the entire Fiddlerman series, so all 6 of the violins back to back or side by side, I've put together a little kind of demonstration montage video where I've taken all of the demonstration clips that I've done in the individual reviews, and I've put them in together in one kind of monster montage video where you can hear every single violin going from the entry level going up more expensive until you reach the last one. So that's quite an interesting video to watch, I think, if you want to hear the different sounds side by side. thoughts and opinions on these. They both play very smoothly. That is one main thing that I notice when I play them back to back. So they are very smooth to play. I would say that this one has a more brighter tone to it. However, this one has a more mature feel to it, which is not kind of really surprising considering that this one is higher up. The artist, I should say, is higher up than the concert, and it is more money. So you would expect it to be a better tonal sound overall. So I guess it depends on what your budget is, what you are looking for in a violin, what you are looking for sound-wise in a violin. So they both have very kind of very similar sounds, yet they are very kind of different in tone, if that kind of makes sense. I know it's a bit of a contradiction in terms there. Again, this one probably has some nicer features on it, but it's worth more money. So if looks are quite important to you, then this one might be a good option to go for, because it does have the extra little kind of bits and bobs on the peg, the little pearl inlay, as I mentioned, and something on the tailpiece. But I mean, the wood looks very similar on both of them. The artist this one here just looks a little bit more of a brighter tone, and as I said, the concert has a one-piece back and the artist does have a two-piece back. I think these violins are for, I would say these violins are for beginners. I'd say if you are a beginner and you've never played before but you want to spend a little bit more money on something slightly more decent that you're not going to have to upgrade to in a very long time, I think either one of these are going to be fine for you. Again, it depends what your budget is and what kind of sound you want from a violin. So you'll be able to tell from the demonstration that I did there what kind of sound suits you best. But as I said, this one is brighter and this one has a more mature sound to it. So it's personal preference there. I think these would suit an intermediate player as well. I think in terms of playability, as I've said in the individual reviews of each of these as well, in terms of playability and technicality, I don't think you're going to have a problem stretching these to their limits. If you are playing more advanced stuff, then these aren't going to be for you. They're not going to be good enough. So you'll need to go to either the soloist or the master, the next two up from these. But as an intermediate player, where you're putting in dynamics, you're doing more technical bowings, you're playing harder pieces, Mozart, unaccompanied Bach, that kind of thing, I think these would be perfect for those kinds of pieces. So I think either of these are suitable for students learning as well, whether you're in an orchestra maybe or an ensemble. I think they're both absolutely adequate. The last thing you want when you're playing in an ensemble or an orchestra is to drag down the entire string section by playing on something that's really nasty sounding. So I think these would be great for that, because they're very good quality, and I think they'll blend in. Either of these would blend in quite well, really. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this quick little comparison video. As I said, if you want some more details on the individual violin itself, then head in the description bar directly underneath this video, where you'll see links to those individual violin reviews that I have done in more detail, and of course the other violin reviews and comparisons that I've done of the Fiddlerman series of violins. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!